Hello everybody and welcome back to the Prehistoric Crater. I have to say, normally at the beginning of a playthrough, I am very stressed and worried about getting carnivore and locavore done and all those things. And since I'm not doing an achievement run, I feel really relaxed, which is weird because there's literally an asteroid coming to hit us in a couple hundred cycles. Today we're going to work on getting food sorted so that we have a good food supply so we can get things moving in this colony. After the last episode, I finished getting all these crops planted, and then I just kind of let it go for 5 cycles or so I could observe and see what's going on. And I learned a bunch of things. One, I learned that this down here with the wild plants, while the wild plants for the Mimica are the same as the domestic ones when you have 4 of them, because you get the same number of Mimicas. Problem is these guys are not lined up perfectly. So we get 4 every 20 cycles, but because this one's at 46%, this one's at 33%, this one's at 39%, this one's at 50%, that means in about 60% more, so, you know, a little more than 10 cycles, all of these guys are going to hatch, and we'll have 4 Mimicas, and then for 5 cycles, we'll have 4 of them, and then for the rest of the time, we have none, and then none of these crops can grow. So I guess a wild one could be viable if you were to manage to stifle them at the right time so that they then end up, this one's at 25%, this one's at 50%, this one's at 75%, and this one just hatched. And then that way it would work, but that's a lot of work. And these things only use dirt. So as far as the ones up top, I learned what I wanted to. I have 1 Mimica in here, and we have plenty of sweet corn for it to pollinate. But if you look, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 that are pollinated. It always sticks between 8 and 10. So I think to make sure that they're have the most uptime as possible for growing, I'm going to stick with 8 per Mimica. I'm actually probably going to do 2 Mimica per 8, just to make it overkill. Because these, like I said, these guys only use dirt. And I get a little bit of calories from them as well. So I think that'll be fine. So I'm going to redesign this whole thing. Another thing I'm going to do is try to make it so that there's less space. So I'm going to make these 3 tall. Plants only need 2. And then I'll leave a gap because at some point I'm going to want to put automation in. And I'm going to build some farms going up here and get rid of all the other stuff here. So that's going to be the first thing I work on today. We got a little bit of a good news, bad news situation. Good news is I got this area built with farms. The Mimicas are growing. They're about, some of them are about to hatch, and we'll have some food going. Bad news is I had a little bit of a medical emergency in the process. I have set up some quick triage cots down here to grab some people because they got incapacitated. What happened was I was expanding this side here to have some extra rooms so I could do some other things coming up. And I built a ladder up here. I just wanted to get up to the top of the biome. And I didn't notice there is a ton of heat here. And the reason is I have neutronium here. I assume this is another volcano, just like one of these. But it has doesn't have abyssalite around it. These are okay because the abyssalite is containing that heat mostly. And this one, the abyssalite isn't there. It's just obsidian and then shale. And that heat has been working its way across. And then I dug up in here to build this ladder. And all of a sudden, I'm getting people being scalded. So, fortunately, I've been doing research all along here. And I had the insulated tiles. So, I threw some of them down quick. It'll buy us a little bit of time. I'm going to, now that I have this sealed off, I've just been working up and down a little bit. I'm going to go down here a couple more. I'm probably going to get somebody in there to seal it up between the abyssalite. But this is really, really hot. So at the moment, I'm just patching it up so that that heat doesn't cause any more harm to our duplicants, and also I don't want it to stop our crops. because that would cause serious harm. Anyway, it's getting there. We'll get it sealed up. It'll be fine. We'll get past that. So what I did with the mimicas is I waited until the one on this side was around 35-40%, and then I planted this one, which means this one will hatch, it'll be alive, and then another couple of cycles later this one will. That way we should always have one of them in here, and I think with the fact that there's always a mimica up and there's 8 crops in here, we'll be able to keep them all fertilized pretty good, which means we'll have lots and lots of sweet corn coming in. I need to do a couple of things with that. One, I need a place for duplicates to eat. They keep running all the way up here to sit and eat their food. I don't know why. I don't know. But I can't have that. I need them sitting in a mess hall eating their food. So I'm going to put that in here. I also want to kind of get a space marked out for where we're going to be putting a refrigeration area so that we can keep our food from spoiling. And I need to put in, I'm going to expand our smokers here because I'm growing a lot, probably way more than I need. I think I only need like maybe 2 of these farms, and I did 5. So I mean, at least for the level I'm at now, where I'm going to have 8 duplicates. But I'd rather have more than not enough. So I want to get storage for it, and I want to get a place for them to eat. So that's what we're going to work on next. But first, I want to finish sealing this up. Make sure we don't have that heat leaking in here. We still have a little coming through here, so I just want to seal it up a little better to prevent it. I may just go in, let's see. If I go in underneath here, then I can do some insulated tiles along here and up like this. That'll seal this bottom edge. And then I'll just do this top edge all the way up to here for now. And then that way we're connecting from abyssalite to abyssalite. This stuff will continue to get hot, but I'll go in there once I have some safety stuff to keep them from, you know, toasting themselves. So I'm going to finish working on that, and then we'll get working on building a mess hall and a new kitchen, and we'll be set. Prices, not necessarily averted, but delayed. So we're good here. This heat is now contained. We have a lot in here, but we'll work on getting the base cooled back down soon. I have everybody healing up as much as I can. I'll swap people out as I need to. And I was digging out to the sides just to kind of see what things are going on. Next, I want to work on mess hall. So let's grab mess tables. I'm going to need 8 of them. We're going to put them right in this room here. So we'll do 8 across, and then we'll do a water cooler. Eventually, we'll get some decorations in here. We'll make it into a great hall. And then I think this space here is where we'll put our refrigerated area, but for now, we'll just leave it like that. I need to get some more tech research before we can get to that. And then I need to do... I'm just going to put in a couple smokers, so we have 2 of them running for now. And then we're going to just put them here. And we'll need to do ventilation for them. So let's come like this. And we'll connect down to this one. And that way we can... These run for so long that I think it's better to have a couple running so that we can be making food on them, because they take an entire cycle to run. I think that that's going to be the best, because I think it takes like maybe 30 seconds of work from our grilling duplicate to do the work on them. So I think he'll be able to handle a couple of them each day as far as putting stuff in them and then taking it out when it's ready. So we'll probably put more than that, but for now we'll start with 2, and then maybe I'll do some math off camera and figure out the right number for what we should do for that. So we now have a mess hall here that'll help with some morale as well. Just trying to think of, like, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of things that I can, directions I can go, but I don't want to spend some time making everything perfect in the base, because we really need to get started working on moving to handle our incoming asteroid. But I do need to at least get things stable so that we can survive long enough to do that. Starvation's popping up. I think that's because people are just moving too far. Let's reassign somebody here. Amari can now go back and get his health fixed up, and then we're all set for that. I think the next thing I want to work on, next priority, is getting some early cooling going on. Up here, there's some polluted water, but as I had Carrot was saying in my Discord, the nits are a bit nasty. Looking at him, I think he's right. So I don't really want to go in there anyway, and I also just sealed this off because of the temperature. So this polluted water is off limits for the moment, and I don't want to go through the abyssalite. I don't have the ability to dig through it yet. I don't really want to work on getting the skills to do it. Plus, I like leaving the abyssalite as long as I can. It helps to keep temperatures controlled a lot better. So I'm looking around, and I wanted to see if I could find any other polluted water sources. There's a little here, but again, there's nits in it, and I don't really want that. A little bit down here. Oh, good. There's a bunch here. And I don't see any nits in it. So let's see. Can I get down? If I come down through here, I'd have to break into this room, which I don't really want to do right now. This light goes here. We might be able to come up and over and get down here to where we're going to be able to get it. So let's do that. So I'm going to start digging around here. Now I got to watch the temperatures. This isn't red, but it will be if I dig into it. It'll start heating up because of contact. So let's do that, and we'll build an insulated tile there to just keep things contained. And then over here, we'll come down right along the abyssalite. And that'll be a good starting point. Get us around here. Hopefully we can get down through here. I don't know if there's abyssalite here or not. Hopefully not. And then we can get down here. Reason I want polluted water is early game. I don't have any active cooling solutions yet, and I won't for a while. Especially if I want to get started on getting electrolyzed oxygen going and getting atmosuits going so we can get up here and get this stuff working. Because this guy's getting closer and closer every cycle. So, to keep things cool, I'll just use this cold biome. And I will run a pipe with some polluted water through here and run it back to the base and cool things down that way. And it'll last us until after the asteroid anyway. So that'll work for me. We could use salt water to do it too, but the polluted water is going to be better. So yeah, I'm going to try to get down there. If I can't get the polluted water, I'll do it with salt water. Salt water can go pretty cool. Yeah, so it would be okay. But I'd like to get polluted water. So we're going to try to get that, and then we'll get something set up here with some real basic automation so that we can have it going. And we'll continue working on getting all this stuff set up. We have all the food growing like crazy now, so we should be getting more in, making good progress. We have some more good news. Down here, there is a path that I can get through, but also this little piece of abyssalite that sticks down isn't really shielding much of anything. So I think I'll just go through there because I don't want to open up this area with the poke shells. A, I want to keep them alive, and they'll stay alive in there wild. B, I don't want to open them up because then when they lay eggs, it will cause them to be angry and violent. So I'm going to continue working my way down here. So I think I'm just going to use a ladder from here down to there. And then we'll come down like so. That'll be good. That'll be good. That'll be good. We'll work our way through here. Because I gave somebody super duper hard digging. And this area doesn't have any nits. And I also saw that there's a polluted water vent here, which is great. So we have a renewable source polluted water. So that's good. We have polluted water, and now we know we have salt water. So we're set with water. We can use one or the other for various things. This is 30-degree water too, so I could actually use this with some cooling to get us a little lower just by taking the output from here and running it through the base. But I think I'm just going to get a loop and set it up to do it that way. So we got to get down in there. We'll get a pump in here. I'll probably just throw down a peat burner so that we can have some power over here rather than trying to run anything from our manual generator over there. Oh, we have another printout. I'm already at 8 duplicates, so I'm not taking any more on right now. So we'll just take the snazzy suit. Let's give that to... Amari took a lot of the brunt from that heat. Let's give it to him. I'm also working down here. This is where we have the cold biome. I decided this little room here will work really nicely for like a little water cooling center. So I'm putting in a liquid lock here so that I can then seal it up so that we can kind of control the temperature. I dug out the abyssalite at this door, so now I can send somebody down to open the door. And then we'll do something cool in here where we have, basically I'm going to have a loop going through up here, and it'll come down here, and if the temperature and it gets too hot, then we'll send it down and loop it down through this area to cool it back off. And if not, then we will just keep it looping. So I'll get that working on setting that up, but first we got to get down here and get some polluted water so we can do it. Okay, I'm almost through to our polluted water down here, and I have made some progress here getting this set up. I'm going to use a double liquid lock. I do have insulated doors to help with the temperature, but I want to make sure that there's definitely no way we lose heat from here just by letting it leak out. So we're going to make this a vacuum insulated lock. That way cold stays cold. Eventually I want to put a little room in here just to make it aesthetically pleasing. But for now, I'm going to go in here and set it down because I don't have the skills to remove the buildings in here. But I like using the gravitas buildings as items. So I'm going to work on putting it in here, and then we'll move it into this room later. Basically, we're going to get this polluted water over here. We're going to get it into a setup where the loop will come down, and if it needs to be chilled, then it'll loop through here, and if not, it'll just pass back and it'll go back into the base. That's the goal. But I'm going to do it in the next episode, because I'm going to try and work on making videos that are a little shorter so that I can make them more often. Because at the end of the last series, it's getting to the point where it was like a week and a half between videos, and that's not where I want to be. So I'm going to try to stick for now to like 20-minute videos and keep them a little more focused. And for now, we got the food system handled. It's not perfect. We don't have any refrigeration, but we have a place for people to eat. We have a renewable source of food. Mostly, I need to get some lum stuff going on so that we can make sure we have plenty of peat. And then I need to come up with a source for dirt so that we can make sure that we can keep those guys going. But it'll work for now. This will get us through at least till the asteroid comes, which is our primary goal. So we have a lot to do in the next episode, but the food situation is sorted, and that's what I wanted to do today. So the next one, we're going to work on the cooling system. We're going to probably work also on getting oxygen set up because we're burning through algae super fast. I only have 15 tons left, which seems like a lot, but it's not going to last a lot when I'm burning through 8 dupes worth of oxygen a day. So a lot to do, but we made progress, and our food situation is sorted. Catalina, why are you struggling down here? Because of all this carbon dioxide. Another thing to fix. We are pumping it out from our duplicates. We're also pumping it out from these smokers, and we're going to have to fix that sooner rather than later. But like I said, lots of things to handle. Next one, we'll work on oxygen and cooling and get this base a little more stable before we start making a push up here to start knocking out this looming asteroid that's coming right for us. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.